Mothers, please give yourself a break and be proud of yourself. You cannot teach what you don't know. If you feel like you are lacking in an area, invest in yourself. Learn about that area, read books, attend workshops and seminars, listen to podcasts, and keep improving you. You will be a better person for it, and so will your children.
Are you ready for the?
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. You are in the studio here with us at Island Money 365. Today is an amazing day. It is Mother's Day. Yeah. I'm so excited. I love Mother's Days. I feel like it's a day when I can be like, nope, it's my day. Nope, it's not about you. It's my day. I take my day. I know every day we can celebrate us, but today's a day that is on the calendar. And everybody know it is Mother's Day and you have to recognize it. Okay. So happy Mother's Day to all of you out there. So happy for you. Hope you have an amazing Mother's Day. And I hope you have your loved ones are cherishing you and, all that fluffy stuff, uplifting you on this special day. Because today we're gonna look at extra love, right? For me, I'm expecting construction cards with stick figures and finger paintings because my kids are young. So it's still at that stage. Hopefully you'll get jewelry and flowers. But I love it. I appreciate it. I enjoy these moments that we've been having so far. But I cannot wait for the day until I get an all expense paid trip. So if you're listening 15 years from now, please know that is what mommy wants. Okay. I want a trip, all expense paid trip to somewhere amazing. All right. And it doesn't matter that I can afford it myself. The beauty is that I didn't pay for it. So please keep that in mind. That is what mommy wants. Okay. On this episode of Island Money 365 today, we are talking about motherhood. We're talking about money and the pressure to provide. So let's just jump right in. Let's talk about the unspoken pressure. And please feel free to leave some comments and share your thoughts on this. I love to hear from you. I do respond to all comments and listen and read all suggestions as well. So yes, as women, we feel pressured. As mothers, we just feel pressure. I find the journey of motherhood to be challenging, interesting, heart-wrenching, but a journey that is absolutely worth taking. With all its ups and downs, there's all this craziness. It's absolutely worth taking. Sometimes when we're in the weeds, you're like, give me a minute. I need a timeout. But on the grand scheme of things, you're like, oh, I love those kids. Hey, maybe it's just me. To me, it's the most important job in the world. The expectations of you are extremely high, yet the only way to learn is on the job, right? And because there's no such of rules and there are no guidelines to follow, but the expectation of you is up here, right? So we're like, okay, let's figure it out. We are women. That's what we do. Some of us feel pressure from the very beginning, especially if you're from an island family like I am. On my wedding day in the toast, they were talking about have lots of babies. I'm like, give me a break. It's like your parents are talking about grandkids and all these pressures on you as a woman. So some of us feel pressure to have children. And when we do have children, we feel the pressure to be outstanding mother or outstanding parent. And when we feel the pressure, we also feel the pressure to provide for our children and give them what they need and to make them a productive member of society. And the list goes on. It's like, it's never ending, right? And yes, there are different variations to the list. Depends on your cultural background, because it depends on where you're from and located. But the summary is we put a lot of pressure on ourselves and our surrounding group as well. But even with all those other pressures that I mentioned, the pressure that I want to talk about today is the pressure of buying our kids stuff and spending on our little children, spending our little ones. I am sure we have all been there where we are standing in the store, in the aisle, knowing that our budget says no, this was not on the list, we're not going to get this. We're like, okay, just this once. I mean, right? What's the harm? Just this once, just this one. Don't ask me again. And you give them the speech, but you still bought the item. It's even more of a struggle if you grew up with very little and you have the means and you don't have the means to buy them whatever they want. You still have that feeling. It creeps up on you. For example, I struggle with this. This is my area of struggle. We did not grow up with much. I did not grow up with much. And I remember those feelings when I wanted something so bad and I did not even ask because I know my mom didn't have it. I'm like, you just look at it and you see other kids and you just wish. But don't complain, keep going because, you got to be happy with what you have, right? So those feelings creep back upon you. And when you see your kids ask for something and you should say no, it's like, they don't really need it. When those memories come back, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. And you have to try to put yourself in check because they're not in the same position as you are, right? And for me, especially, I can say more specifically for me, the struggle I can pinpoint is sports, right? My kids want to try sports, almost every sports. My town have a great offer great sports program for them at this age. Those little cute programs with little kids running around. But my husband had to reel me in. My mom wasn't able to give me certain sports, put me certain sports because we didn't have the means. So when my kids asked, I'm like, yeah, sure, let's try it. No, why not? Let's see if you like it or not. And my husband was like, no. Right? He was like, our schedule is already packed, right? And we agreed that we only do one sport per season and for each child. And, we are already splitting our time between both of them. So how are we going to manage that? And I will feel bad, of course. So yes, even I struggle and I give in sometimes, even though my little man would say, Mommy, you always say no. And I'm like, really? Do I always say no? Do I? Think about it. And I do ask, I said, think about it. Is that an accurate statement? Really? And just like, okay, maybe not all. Maybe not always. I respect their feelings, but let's put it into perspective here. All right. As parents and mothers, we have to get a good handle on the word no in areas that we struggle. As I said, sports is mine. And for you, it might be food, it might be clothing, because our children are learning from our actions and behaviors. Let me give you some quick facts here. The US makes up about 4% of the world's population, but we account for nearly 30% of the global spending. Global consumer spending. Let's correct that. Global consumer spending. Of course, that is not by accident. It is not, right? Marketing campaign sends a message. If you love them, you will get them this. Don't let them miss out. Come on. You remember when you were a child? Don't let them go through that same emotion. Did you know that the children toy market is worth over like $25 billion? Let that sink in for a minute, right? I mean, it's a lot more, but it's over a $25 billion industry. You think about that, right? and I even have a policy, right? Every year I have my children pick the toys for donation that they want for donation for their gentle use. Not broken. I mean, still in great condition. And even with our donation policy, I am still amazed of how many toys we still have left. And birthdays and holidays are coming up again. I mean, it's constant, right? It never it never ends. They keep replenishing, keep replenishing. Um, so something to think about. Something to think about. Let me share with you a little bit of my journey. For me, I was not sure, to be honest with you, on this Mother's Day. Let's get real. For me, I was not sure how well I was going to be at being a mom, right? Matter of fact, I never thought of children until I met my husband. Never crossed my mind. I was that person that, if my aunt or my uncle had a new baby, they'd come over and I'm like, oh, he's so cute or she's so cute. And I'll keep going. Not because I didn't like children or I have anything against children. Doesn't think about it. I just didn't. I was that person. When the whole level, like, no, no, thank you. You're good. No, thank you. I was never that girl. My sister was that person. She was like, "Oh, baby's so cute, oh my baby." Not me. I was. I was so focused on my learning and my goals around my economic position. It was like, no, thank you. And if babies were something, as if like babies were something you could catch, like if I hold it, I'll catch it or something. I was like, no, thank you. I'm focused. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to change my economic position. I was blinders on. It was like so laser focused. But my mom was right. Actually, my mom thought, oh my goodness, I'm never. And she told everybody, I don't think she's going to give me grandkids. I don't think she's going to give me or get married because I was so focused. So she was surprised when I finally got married and gave her grandkids. She was like over the moon. But and that was the question I had when I got pregnant. I was like, how am I going to figure this out? I've never held a baby, never changed a diaper. How am I going to figure this out? My mom said to me, it will just kick in. And she was right. Your instinct just knew what to do. It just kicked in. Your love, your protection just kicked in. And yes, we might not always get it right. But as I often hear my grandmother say, when she get frustrated with my uncles or they're having conversation with my mom or she's having conversation with my mom, she'd tell them, you are alive, aren't you? Give God thanks. I did my job. And I never really understood. I always laugh at when she says it because she said it in the patois accent. And I'm like, yeah, you're alive, aren't you? Give God thanks. I did my job. That was my grandmother. That's my granny. So, mothers, please give yourself a break and be proud of yourself. You cannot teach what you don't know. If you feel like you are lacking in an area, invest in yourself. Learn about that area, read books, attend workshops and seminars, listen to podcasts, and keep improving you. You will be a better person for it, and so will your children, right? Because what really matters is, let's think about it, what really, really matters with all the things my children receive from aunties, grandparents, uncles, and us, what they talk about the most are the experiences. Going to the aquarium or the dinosaur park and us cheering them on at their events. Yes, they enjoy their toys, especially Legos and the remote cars from, for the boys I know. It sounds cliche, but after they have outgrown the items you purchase from what I'm seeing, my little ones do. They don't even remember the toys. So after they have grown them and I donate them, they don't even think about it, ask me about them or remember them until I see them in the picture. Like, oh, I remember that toy, mommy. I also love that toy. I'm like, yeah. Right, take a picture of it. They remember it. They say, remember this? If it really means to you. But so see my little ones that they don't even remember the toys until they see it in a photo. It tells me a lot. It speaks volume, right? But sometimes I hear them telling stories to their cousins, or when they're talking to their cousin, talking to their aunt. They're like, "Auntie, remember that time when you brought me here? You know." And that was the best. And they talk about it with such light and life in their eyes and their voice, with all the exaggeration. I'm like, okay, that's what really matters. So every mother listening, whether you are solo, co-parenting, foster parenting, or showing up in ways the world don't even see, know that you are amazing. Yes, you are. Okay. I know we often at times stretch ourselves to provide for our children and show up because we want to give them the best of what we can afford, can offer of ourselves, and even what we can't even afford. We want to give our children the best. So I want you to know that you're enough. You don't need to tell you that. You already know that. You're enough. You're doing the best you can. And after you finish celebrating you here, after you finish celebrating yourself today, here's something you can do. We do this quite often in our homes. Create a love list, right? Ask your kids, what is their best memory of you or us, your family? Or us as a family. Ask them. I got this idea because my husband one day heard my son complaining, "Oh, you guys never do this, and we never do this." And my son said, list some things that mommy does for you this week. List some of the things mommy did for you this week." And he started going down the list, and he was like, so is that statement accurate? So I got that idea from this. So, but create a love list. Ask your kids, what's the best memory of you, of the family? Set a spending limit ahead of time. This helps you plan with peace and not pressure, and practice sticking to the limit when you go out with them. It helps, right? Or let them know, look, we're not going to buy anything in the store. Give them a speech in the car. We're not buying anything in the store. We're just sticking to the list. We're going in here for this, A, B, Z, and that's all we're going to get. Okay, so don't ask. And if they ask, remember our conversation in the car. If you have older kids, you got to talk differently. I have little ones. Talk to your kids about money. Be honest about your money situation. Help them understand that boundaries are not lack, right? There are trade-offs in everything that we do. Model gratitude. Each day, one thing we are thankful for. Say it, before they go to bed, I'll say, what's one thing you're thankful for today? What's one amazing thing that happened to you today? I said, I celebrate with them. I do. We do that. It's very important. To all the mothers out there that are mourning a loss, whether from miscarriage, illness, tragedy, or any form of heartbreak, we are especially thinking of you today. It goes without saying, your motherhood is real, your love is eternal, and your presence, even in grief, matters deeply. May you feel surrounded by comfort and held in grace, especially on today. And as I close, I want to remind all mothers that you are doing the best you can. And that's more than enough. And I've heard that before. People tell me that before. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Cliche, didn't really believe it. But until I accept that I'm doing the best that I can, and that's more than enough, it allowed me to move on to another level that was surprising, helped me to be fully present. What I'm doing is always measuring myself against something that's not real. So know that you are doing the best that you can, and you are enough. So thank you so much for listening to today's special episode on Island Money 365. Be sure to subscribe, share this episode, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. And as always, remember, keep your money and your love